Hello and welcome to another review. And today we have here with us Against the Storm. And before I say anything else, I'll go straight to the point and let you know if I think Against the Storm is worth it. And my answer for that is a yes. And before I get into all the details here, I just think that I need to make a good disclaimer where I've got the license for this game for free. So developer was kind enough to send me a key for the game, but there was no commitments about what I should do or say about this game. So all the opinions here are my own, and you'll see that I have, as always, my list of pros and cons about the game. So what is Against the Storm? According to the developer, Against the Storm is a roguelite city builder set in a fantasy world where it never stops raining. As the Queen's Viceroy, you are tasked with venturing into the unknown wilds and building new settlements inhabited by intelligent beavers, humans, and lizard folks. So, in my view, this is basically a city builder with some survival modes and a range of different things that randomize everything that you're doing, which is pretty nice actually. But I'll get into the list of pros and cons, and I'll start with the pros that I think are why I think this is worth it. So the first point is the depth of the game. So I start playing this without, as I usually do, I start playing a game and I don't have much context or a lot of idea on what's going on or how much I'll have to play. And as I progressed throughout the game, I was figuring that there was a lot more into this game than I was able to see at a first glance. And I was quite impressed actually. It was a pretty good surprise. So there is so much that you can cover and learn, like new buildings and the different areas that you can do different things and play. And I think it's just great. Now this takes me to another point, which is randomization, and there is a lot of things here that are just random. So for example, the glades or the areas that you open in the map or during the gameplay, they are all procedurally generated. The buildings that you can build every time you play, they are all random, and the challenge, the things that you have that will help you doing your play, and the things that will go against you, they're all randomized when you play a different area, which is quite good. Every time you play, it's something different. Now, I mentioned that you have like random buildings, and this is something that I was quite surprised by the amount of buildings that you have and how they look. But about how they look, I'll talk a little bit later. But you have so many options, and I think due to the nature of randomize everything every single time you play, so you have a few buildings that can do similar things, but each building they have a slightly different output. For example, some buildings you can get let's say planks and bricks and mushrooms. Like there's no building that does that, but just for the sake of argument. And the other building will have planks and pack of goods and I don't know, some herbs. And so that's something different there. So depending on the map you're playing and what the resources you have around you, one or another will make more sense. But you don't have everything available. You have to pick very carefully. You get those buildings while you play and as points as you complete some of the challenges. So just keep that in mind. But I think that's quite nice and it's quite challenging as well. So I spoke about like the way the buildings look, and this brings me to the graphics and the models that are used in this game. So every single building was all the textures, they were hand drawn, and this shows in the game. Like it's quite good. It's very artistic, so it's not trying to be like realistic or looking like animes or anything like that, but they have a specific characteristic, and I think this works well with the team and the fantasy worlds that you are playing on. So that's quite good, and I think it works quite well in this game. And my last point for the pros is, of course, replayability. You can play so much of the same game on the same place, and every single time will be different. Like you get something different all the time. So the glades will be different, the buildings you get are different, the resources that you have around are different, challenges, like everything is different, and every time you play, your challenge will be different. And I think this keeps you very involved in the game and getting you wanting to play more and see what's next and what you can do. So that's a great point there, which I think it's really worth mentioning. Now let's jump into the cons of the game. So I think there aren't many, but there are a few things that are actually more suggestions for me to the developers than anything else. Some items you have some sort of border around it. You have a white one, you have pink, you have I think blue and green, and this is not explaining anywhere what they are. I think by the games I've played before, they relate to the rarity of the card, of the building, or whatever that border is, but I have no idea what they actually are. Like I at least I didn't find where I could see what they mean and what's the actual level, like how rare something is, if this is what it is. So I would like to see something like that, some elements of the game a little bit better explained. That's what I'm getting at. Now some buildings, that's interesting. Some buildings, so to construct a building, you need some specific materials to build that building. And some of these buildings, they actually produce the material that you need to build them. I got across one building that needed bricks to be built, and the building that I was trying to build actually produced the bricks that I needed. So I was like, okay, if that's the only building I need to build bricks, how can I build that? And that's, I don't know if that's part of the challenge or that was just an oversight, but I think that just felt a little bit odd and didn't actually fit with the context. So I think it's a tip there to maybe revisit that and fix this issue. So I think my latest point for the cons list is in regards to the happiness of your population. I think that they decrease very, very fast. To increase, it takes some time to build that up and increase. But when something happens, and for example, you have, I think it's called fallen beaver traders on a glade where like there's some dead beavers, all your beavers instantly lose all their happiness and they start leaving. And I thought that was a little bit too fast and too much. So maybe slowing that down would be a little bit better. But I think those are my main points, my main pros and cons. And in conclusion, do I think it's worth buying Against the Storm? And I think that's a big yes from me. I've been having a lot of fun. I've played several hours as well. I would do a let's play. I won't do a thorough let's play like from beginning to end because this game is quite long. So what I might do is basically start let's play now, play a few episodes and then come back to it in a couple of months and keep doing that, so we can just explore everything that we need, that we have actually in the game, and even the updates that we get during that time. So that'll be interesting to see as well. But yeah, that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this review of Against the Storm, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you played this game, what did you think about it. Do you have any comments? If you do, just leave it down below or join my Discord server. We can have a conversation about that. And don't forget to leave a like. I really appreciate when you leave a like, and that makes me happy. And if you feel like it, subscribe and you can see what comes next in my channel. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.